What's up, guys? Engineering Aquariums, episode number 17. This one might be posted before episode number 16, as 16 has a lot of edits, and this one is more of an emergency, immediate upload type deal. So I had a fire happen in my tank. If you can see, this thing burned up right there. And the power supply is completely fried on the end that was plugged into that. I was going to show you guys it right away, but the tank comes first, you guys come second, because without this tank, there's nothing to talk to you guys about. So that was right here, screwed in those four holes, and you can kind of see a little bit of a burn mark. I wiped the rest of that off pretty well. I took down the power supply was hanging up here, so here's the last little, the last of the Mohicans. So emergency stuff for tank fires. If your pump's gonna go down, let's just say your pump goes down, because that's basically what happens. That's the only real issue. Was my main return pump went down because there's no power to it. So step one, aeration. Get air in your tank. Break up the surface of your tank. It's less about the bubbles and more about the surface agitation that the bubbles cause. And I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's all these little pops from vaporization, more or less. So step one, aeration. Step two, heat. If you're running metal halides, you can just turn your halides on and that'll heat up your tank pretty well. If your house is warm and insulated, you should be okay. And then it's going to be flow and working on fixing the problem. So I fixed the problem by digging out the old controller for the pump. Currently it's running on like 10% or something, but that seems to be about what it needs to be running on. So I guess this pump is like way more powerful than I thought. It just was kind of limited by the little device thing. So I currently am using the power supply from the DP4 or DP8 in the back there. I don't know how well that's gonna work, because I did actually burn up this little power supply in 5 minutes running this pump on it. So I'm hoping that it doesn't burn out, because if it does, I'm completely up the river without anything to even power this. But if it does go, that's why I'm keeping these heaters and this extra power head plugged in, and I'm keeping the aeration going. In theory, it doesn't need it, but I'm really worried that if it burns out, my fish won't have air or anything. I'm pretty sure my clownfish is spawning right now, because she's got a little bit of a chub down there. So, lol, good job, clownfish. Way to bring the good times out of some bad situations. So first is making sure you're aerated, water, movement, heat, and then fixing the problem. Another thing is make sure that your sump also isn't just stagnant salt water. Stagnant salt water is deadly salt water, in my opinion. Stuff can just form that you're not expecting to. Pockets of bad things that just not getting filtered out or run through the entirety of your filtration. Also with the fire, I will be changing out my carbon and running that, because there were quite a few fumes in the air. I'm sure some of that dissolved into the tank, excuse me. One last thing was, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get this up and running or keep it running. So I have a pump pumping water from the first section all the way back or the last section all the way back to the first section filter stock. So that just kind of keeps water going in here. I also have a little pump that's just moving water around there. But of course, now the thing's up and running fully again, quote unquote fully. So hopefully, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Hope everything's running well. Yeah, if anyone has any comments, tell me your stories. We've all had failures. Some of us larger than others. Some of us more times than others. Some people have sat with a tank of water for 4 years without any fish in it. You know who I'm talking to. But anyway, tell me what issues you've had. Tell me if you've had any fires, full tank explosions. I know some people have literally had their tanks blow apart at the seams. Like the silicone was like, I'm out, and it just quit. So make sure you guys have your backups, have extra pumps, have extra power heads, have extra power supplies, have extra everything, because nothing goes wrong until it goes really wrong, and then you're up the river without a paddle. So yeah, let me know what you guys do to mitigate these things. Have you had these issues? Is there anything I'm missing, I'm screwing up, are my fish gonna die in the next few hours? Let me know these things. Comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I'll be doing my first live stream in the next week or so. Peace.